Hello, YouTube Empire. Oh, really? And welcome to the thing I have been working on for the past 2 days and why I have not recorded any day shift at Freddy's. I have been working on a massive Five Nights at Freddy's theory, and it's not completely finished yet. I haven't completely finished the theory yet. It was just me trying out a theory and, well, a few theories I had in the back of my mind for a while. Now, if anyone has already said these theories before, just know that I have came up with these theories on my own with the evidence we have now. So, yeah, that's just a quick disclaimer. So if anyone has had these theories before, these are my own theories, and these are evidence I have had since I look back at the games. So, let's start with my very first theory, which I'm calling the ultimate Five Freddy's theory, because, well, they're usually catchy names to these theories, but I don't have a catchy name. Like, for real, the Blackfoot Ferret has the ferret theory, and Zero Spear has the zero theory. So, why can't I just call mine the ultimate FNAF theory? Not saying it's better than anyone else's, just saying it's gonna be pretty good. So basically, I'm just gonna read off of this because this is my own theory, and I don't think I need to get copyrighted for by myself to post this on YouTube. So this is basically my own theory, and I'm gonna go ahead and read it out for everyone. So yeah, let's just come back at this story. So today I wanted to touch on the separate universes of Five Nights at Freddy's, since it is fairly confusing to many people, including me. So let's dive into part 1 of my ultimate FNAF theory. We're going to start off with FNAF 1, since it would be the easiest to analyze on its own, since there are no other games or books to compare it to. Yet, let's go ahead and say FNAF 1 takes place in the FNAF universe. Now to move to our second game, FNAF 2, which I have reasons to believe take place in a separate universe from FNAF 1. Let's start by analyzing FNAF 1 Night 1 phone call. Mainly this sentence that phone guy says. They used to be allowed to walk around during the day too. But then there was the bite of 87. For those who somehow don't know about the alleged bite of 87, well, here is what Phone Guy says about it. Yeah, it's amazing how the human body can live out the frontal lobe, you know? Someone was bitten in the frontal lobe by a rolling animatronic in a year that ends with 87. But which year is it? Well, we could get our evidence from our paycheck after night 5 in FNAF 1. It says, good job, sport. See you next week. 1112XX. Mike Schmidt. $120. Valued employee, Fazbear Entertainment. This paycheck shows us that after the 5 nights, Mike Schmidt gets $120 from his number. We can figure out Mike Schmidt's hourly pay. If we do 120 divided by 5, we get Mike Schmidt's pay for 1 day, which is $24. If we divide that by how many hours Mike works, which is 6 hours, we get $4 per hour, which means that Fast Entertainment is paying their employees at or close to minimum wage, then FNAF 1 must take place in 1990. This is because in 1990, minimum wage was $3.80. In 1991, $4 an hour would be below minimum wage, since it would have been $4.25 in 1991. Now, before people start getting mad and talking about how it has been quote-unquote confirmed that Final Phase 3 takes place in 1993. Okay, how was it confirmed? What, because MapHatch said it in his game theory video? I mean, seriously. Haven't you learned anything from his Five Nights at Freddy's 3 theories? Take everything he says with a grain of salt. Because he's never going to change that. Also, if you guys are going to talk about state minimum wages and how they're different in every state, then here's something to tell you. The Silver Eye says that that Five Nights Pizza is in Utah, Hurricane, Utah, meaning the Utah state minimum wage would have to be then. And lo and behold, the minimum wage for Utah is in 1990 is $3.80, and for 1991 is $4.25. So yeah, I did my research on that as well. Pick me up. Okay, so this would mean that the Bite of 87 happened in 1987. If you need more evidence, then just know that the animatronic pizza places became a thing in 1977 when Pizza Time Theater opened. Anyways, you may ask, well, what does this have to do with FNAF 2 being in a separate universe from FNAF 1? Well, in FNAF 2 Night 1 in FNAF 2 Night 1 Phone Guy says this. They spent a small fortune on these new animatronics. Facial recognition, advanced mobility. They even let them walk around during the day. This makes many people think that the Bite of 87 hasn't happened yet, since FNAF 2 animatronics are still allowed to walk around during the day. This combined with the fact that FNAF 2 takes place in 1987, which is proven more by the minimum wage being $3.35 an hour. Yes, I checked. Makes everyone believe the Bite of 87 happens later. But that's not true, because of Mangle's radio message, which when edited sounds like this. We got a little boy, missing his frontal lobe. Sir, we got a 10-1. This tells us that the Bite of 87 already happened before FNAF 2 even takes place. Now, many people may try to defend FNAF 2 by saying that Night 1's phone call was pre-recorded, and this does seem to be the case, since Phone Guy says this on Night 1. Hello, and welcome to your new summer job at the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. But FNAF 2 check clearly reads November 12th, 1987, which, judging by U.S. minimum wage, shows that it's not in summer in FNAF 2. I can't read today. But Phone Guy must have thought that this phone call was relevant enough to give to Jeremy Fitzgerald, making it a possibility that the animatronics are still allowed to roam around during the day. And this seems to be the case because of what Phone Guy says on Night 6. You'll be on day shift. Wear your uniform, stay close to animatronics. Make sure they don't hurt anyone. Okay? For now, just make it through the night. When the place eventually opens again, I'll probably take the night shift myself. The fact that Jeremy is instructed to stay by the animatronics tells me that the animatronics will roam around during the day. Now, that isn't all my evidence to say that FNAF 1 and FNAF 2 are separate universes, because there are more pieces of evidence. But for now, that is all. But that isn't all for this video, because I still made a part 2 to this, but it's not on the separate universes. It's on one universe, which I called the FNAF universe, with FNAF 1 in it. And it's talking about the Bite of 87 in that universe. So, let's go over to that universe. Last time we talked about how FNAF 1 and FNAF 2 have two completely different bites. One bite where the animatronic was roaming when it bit when it bit the person, and 1 bite where the animatronic wasn't roaming when it bit the kid. This did leave me wondering one thing. Who caused the bite of 87? That is the question I plan to answer today. So, let's go. Let's talk about FNAF 1 first, since it came first. Let's go over what we know about the bite of 87. They used to be able to walk around during the day, too. But then there was the bite of 87. Yeah, it's amazing how a human body can live up the frontal lobe, you know? Okay, so we know that a roaming animatronic caused a bite of 87, but that doesn't really help with figuring out who did it, since Phone Guy says they, meaning all of them, but we can say which one is the fastest, which is kind of hard to say, but both Foxy and Freddy run, since we see Foxy run in FNAF 1, and Freddy has the running sound when he moves around. As you can see, Foxy's running through the hallway in that game. So add 0.5 points to Foxy and Freddy, since it doesn't really mean solid proof. So here's the scoreboard currently. Freddy 0.5, Foxy 0.5, Bonnie 0, Chica 0, Yellow Bear 0, and Endoskeleton 0. Next thing is that the animatronic must have sharp and hard teeth to bite through the skull of a person, which you may think would take off every single animatronic except for Foxy, since Foxy has sharp teeth. But that is not true. Look at the custom night image of Foxy. As you can see, their teeth are round. Remember that. If you look closely at Foxy's teeth, you can see they have a rounded top, and it's not sharp at all. But when looking at all the animatronics, including the endoskeleton, their teeth would not be good for biting someone's frontal lobe. But don't lose hope just yet, because I found some light at the end of this dark tunnel. Let me introduce you to the one, the only, Endoskeleton Mark 1. Their teeth are perfect for biting someone's frontal lobe off, and judging by the shoulder, he is an all best friend, Freddy Fazbear. But wait a second, we see Freddy's endoskeleton in-game, and it doesn't have those teeth. And of course, you are correct, but think about this. Last time I said that FNAF 1 takes place in 1990, and I stick by that, meaning that we have a 3-year gap between 1987 and 1990, and that 3-year gap can be used to make the animatronic safer, so an other incident like the bite of 87 could never happen again. So this means that the endoskeleton could have looked like this back in 1987. This already tells us a lot and eliminates 2 animatronics right off the bat. Yellow Bear, since she is just a ghost, since she can appear in your office even if both doors are shut, and she has the power to change posters at will and cause strange hallucinations to you. She was probably one of the first kids killed, since she seems to be the most powerful spirit in the game. This also takes off the Endoskeleton Mark II because, well, they were made after the bite of 87, but we can also take away more animatronics thanks to the fact that the animatronic must be able to bite with the endoskeleton teeth, and this takes away 2 more of our contestants. Foxy has too big of a snout to making it impossible for the endoskeleton to bite someone's frontal lobe. And Chica has that beak, which would also make it really hard to bite the frontal lobe, meaning that the only 2 animatronics that could have caused the bite of 87 are Freddy and Bonnie. So the current scoreboard is Freddy at 1.5 points and Bonnie at 1 point. So Freddy is in the lead currently with Bonnie only 0.5 points behind. But we still have a little bit more evidence to go through, but I'll save that for part 3 since this post is already long enough. And that's all I did. I'm going to make another post on here today. I might make 2, I'm not sure. But I'm working on trying to clean up the true cause of the bite theory. Now remember, these theories were under the assumption that FNAF 1 and FNAF 2 are in separate universes, which means that FNAF 1 would have a different bite as FNAF 2. I will go over the bite of FNAF 2 in a later video, but for now, I'm going to be over FNAF 1 for a bit. And also, tell me in the comments below what you think it is, Freddy or Bonnie. This answer is kind of obvious if any of you guys has ever seen FNAF 1 theories before, and you should know which one I'm going to say, but either way, just tell me in the comments what you think I'm going to say is the animatronic that caused the bite of 87 in FNAF 1. Anyways, if you like this video, then click the like button. If you want to see more of these videos, click the subscribe button, and tell me in the comments of anything that could debunk my theory that I could talk about in a future video. Anyways, see you guys next time. Aurelius, out. Bye-bye.